Let's talk about independent men and how contemporary women seem to fear a man who goes his own way and makes decisions on his own without seeking approval from women. The first thing to remember about independence is that, despite the fact that women prefer independent men, they do not want them to have independent thinking. This indicates that the male is aware of the physical world and his place in it, but he is also unable to act on his own initiative without constant prodding from women. You must honestly convey to boys and men that they are in command of their own destiny, responsible for the direction of their lives, and the ones who make the decisions if you want them to acquire the trait of independence. You must let them make their own choices so they can learn the crucial lesson that failure is a part of life, and that they must make mistakes in order to learn from them if they want to achieve. After making enough mistakes, they will ultimately gain the character to stop being followers and to be a little bit cynical about the world. They will also refuse to follow others' lead. I know several blue pill guys who follow their wives' orders and blindly obey them. Although many of these guys are independent and competent at handling their jobs and other responsibilities, the woman they are with is in charge of their hormones, which serve as their brain's operating system. Therefore, if you want to genuinely make a man autonomous, you must improve his operating system. Despite the fact that many people are hooked on technology and what it is truly capable of, a man cannot become independent without the proper wiring and programming in his head. Some claim that mgtow is a philosophy. Today, when life is easier than it has ever been, philosophy is probably just a fancy word for operating systems or human programming. Most people have been taught how to be independent and able to endure just mild quantities of stress. If you want boys and men to be self-sufficient in a society devoid of safe havens, you have to subject them to painful experiences, difficulties, and challenging situations. When I say that being independent requires having the ability to think quickly and on your feet, I'm not only talking about textbook knowledge. I'm talking about simple things like starting a fire. Perhaps while camping in the woods, ask a boy to start a fire by providing him with an axe and some matches. Don't help him, let him work out a fire-starting plan on his own initiative. Encourage him to think imaginatively when tackling problems in life. It is essential to teach young guys how to weigh different possibilities because there are so many difficulties that are specific to men for which there isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. The young man must also be taught how to develop a unique solution that will work best for him. Making independent decisions requires judgment. Most teenagers must make a big decision at that age, when they are only 16 or 17, even if they aren't sure what they want to do with their lives. Forcing your child to study something they loathe, even if they are brilliant at it, is a surefire way to assure that they obtain a great job and become financially independent. But are they truly independent? You made the decision to take that action on their behalf. However, they can be regarded as independent if they choose a different route and it leads to a prosperous future. They must expend an incredible amount of effort if they want to achieve true independence, choosing what you want to do with your life on your own and embracing the outcomes, good or bad. For instance, when I was younger, I was certain that I wanted to work in the creative industries such as psychology, video writing, photography, and others. Nobody imposed any of those things on me. I like it and was naturally skilled at it. All those skills helped me become independent because I use them every day. Independent thinking men, on the other hand, are despised because we question the gender hierarchy in the business system around us. Most of our so-called independence comes from our impulses. This includes our desire to work hard, amass fortune, and our need for female favor. Although the very concept of independence implies ceding authority to a woman, if you are independent and amass wealth while retaining your right to free thought, you are able to keep the benefits for yourself. When I say that women don't desire autonomous thought in men, I mean just that. Once we realize that the only reason we are independent is to draw attention, the idea of pretending to be independent to the world turns into a comedy. It's comparable to purchasing a high-end car for display purposes rather than personal enjoyment, so that others can attempt to take it from you. The majority of men are absolutely comfortable with this since they will receive a pat on the head and, when the woman validates them, she will almost certainly leave quickly with the automobile you purchased, leaving you grinning on the curb. Then you'll have to put in a lot of effort, purchase a new vehicle, and go through the process once more before you understand that you've been taken advantage of and that your independence and creativity have been taken advantage of. Women fear independent men because they have internal validation in the core component of their operating systems and can't be misled by a beautiful smile and a flash of skin, and they won't hand over things for which they work easily, if at all. If a young man wants to be self-sufficient, he should be taught the concept of an internal validation map. I don't believe there is a large number of women out there who are always aiming to humiliate men. Everything, I believe, operates on an innate level. There is no female clandestine group telling women to continue using negative language because guys would begin to think for themselves if they did not. Furthermore, female government bankers and enterprises take advantage of men who work hard to meet their requirements for feminine affirmation and recognition. The concept of the fully autonomous independent man supports our entire society. Men are beginning to notice this in the system when he cedes his independence to a woman in exchange for cheap techniques. I commonly hear people assert that our society's rulers promote mgtow because it supports the breakdown of the nuclear family. However, it does more than that. It promotes the breakdown of highly profitable male-female partnerships even more, where women get to have the benefits and the men get to suffer. Men who are emotionally robust and have internal validation do not need to spend their 20s piling up debt to buy a flashy car. They do not need to work endlessly at many vocations in order for a woman to live comfortably without doing anything. Because this paradigm has been in place for so long, I feel that few people are even aware of it anymore. People believe that things will always be the same since males will always have a need for real women. However, if technology like synthetic woman lover bots breaks the rules, our lives would resemble a scene from a Black Mirror episode in which women are left howling at the sky at the end. I honestly doubt that anyone believes that males can ever obtain complete independence. Independence from the dual responsibility of protecting and providing for women. After all, that's just the way we are. When the requirement for female approval is removed, the function of provider and protector appears to evaporate on its own. Whatever their mgtow beliefs about female nature, artificial wombs, or even lover bots, this is how we actually make men autonomous in their habits and decisions. As a result of these three things, men will grow more autonomous and free. The solution, however, is that males who are self-sufficient will have little to no drive to become self-sufficient in the conventional sense. Most men who can think for themselves refuse to take the traditional paths to independence. They reject the game of amassing resources and exchanging them for feminine acceptance. So, for guys, freedom is subjective to your interpretation of what independence means to you. Finally, if you want to be independent of women, you will select your own path. If you wish to be independent of modern society, you will need to be independent of our existing social systems and their expectations of men. This is why more and more men are now going their own way. It offers them the independence they don't get with women in relationships. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.